An historic flight to South Africa to pay tribute to Nelson Mandela. On board Air Force One with President and Mrs. Obama, President George W. Bush and First Lady Laura Bush, and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. On the way to South Africa, they gathered together in the plane's conference room, sharing their stories about Mandela, stories that span 3 presidential administrations. Presidents Clinton and Carter are traveling separately to Johannesburg. The last time these presidents were all together was in April at the opening of the George W. Bush Presidential Library. But this event in a foreign country will mean much greater security concerns. Sources involved in planning President Clinton's trip to the 1995 funeral of Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin and President George W. Bush's travel to the 2005 funeral of Pope John Paul II tell CNN it can be nerve-wracking to depend on a host country.
The United States Secret Service is charged with protecting the president, and they do a lot of planning, and they're very good at this. The South Africans have challenges along a number of dimensions. In addition to security, they have logistical challenges.
Nelson Mandela's memorial service will take place in a soccer stadium that holds 90,000 people. More than 90 world leaders are expected to attend, and leaders of 6 nations will be among those speaking at the service, including President Obama, who was active in the anti-apartheid movement as a college student, attending and speaking at a rally.
I am one of the countless millions who drew inspiration from Nelson Mandela's life. My very first political action, the first thing I ever did that involved an issue or a policy or politics, was a protest against apartheid.
And President Obama is, as we speak, Wolf, en route to South Africa still. And we've learned some about the seating arrangements. He and Mrs. Obama are in their normal cabin, and then in the medical office behind their cabin, that is where the Bushes are. And behind that, in the senior staff cabin, that is where Hillary Clinton is. Of course, when they are all not gabbing in the conference room, as we also learned that they did.
I'm sure they did. There's going to be potentially an awkward moment. As you know, Brianna, Cuba's president, Raul Castro, will be sharing the same stage with President Obama. They'll both be speaking at the memorial service. How's that expected to unfold?
That's right. And this is something that could be unexpected, Wolf, because previous officials to other trips like this have said that, you know, sometimes you can't necessarily keep these foreign leaders apart. It's sort of a feat of maneuvering. But there is a portion of the service where you have 6 foreign leaders who are paying tribute to Nelson Mandela. President Obama will be the first of the 6. Raul Castro is the last to pay his respect, but they are sharing a stage. And I think it is interesting that you have, you know, obviously the U.S. and Cuba, which were enemies during the Cold War, certainly not the friendliest of nations, but you have Nelson Mandela, who in life was so unifying in South Africa and inspiration to others, even in his death. He's unifying some unlikely characters.